Are you headed to Green Bay for the 2025 NFL Draft? If so, be prepared for some major inconveniences, from traffic chaos all the way to limited food options. In this video, I'm going to show you what each of these things are and what you need to do to avoid them. Number one, travel congestion. This is going to be huge. This is going to be a huge frustration for a lot of people when they come into the city for the NFL Draft. The reason being, the population of Green Bay is already about 100,000 people, okay? And the highway system is not designed for huge amounts of traffic. Already during home games, it's already pretty backed up. It goes for miles. So in the last couple of years, Green Bay has been revamping their highway system, where right now there is only about 10 to 12 miles worth of 4 lanes of highway on one of the highways. I want you to look at this diagram right here of the highway system here in Green Bay. As you can see, it goes in a giant circle. There's not really a highway that cuts through the city of Green Bay. Everything goes in a giant circle. Now, the next problem with the highway is that the majority of the highways here are 2-lane highways. A lot of you may be from bigger cities, much bigger cities than here than Green Bay, and you know very well that 4-lane highways don't mean nothing. They don't do much. They might speed up traffic just a little bit, but it doesn't do much. So now if you only have that for 10 miles and then the rest of it is 2 miles, it's going to be some heavy traffic. So what's going to be great to do is start planning ahead, either for ride sharing, whether that's booking a place where you can stay a lot closer to the field, Airbnbs and things like that. But please be prepared that there is going to be some major backups on both highways 41 and 43, which are the 2 major highways that bring people to Green Bay and out of Green Bay. Number 2 is going to be hotel accommodations. This is going to be another nightmare. Over the last couple years, just like the highway system, Green Bay has been building a lot of hotels and stuff. Now the problem is that I've even heard, even up to now, the NFL itself has booked up the majority of the hotels that are here in Green Bay. So what does that mean for the average person or the average fan that wants to come to the NFL Draft? More than likely, you're either gonna have to try to find an Airbnb or go to a local city, or not a local city, but a nearby city, kind of like Appleton, not Milwaukee. I'm sure there will be people in Milwaukee that have to go stay there and come all the way up to Green Bay back and forth. But you got neighboring cities like Appleton, like Manitowoc, Oshkosh, all these other areas that people are going to have to book and travel down here to Green Bay because there are just limited options for people to stay at. Number 3, one of the most frustrating things I discovered when I first moved here to Green Bay about 10 years ago is that there is a beer and alcohol sale curfew. I'm telling you, this is going to be so frustrating. If you are at the NFL Draft and you're looking to have a good time and stuff, maybe a little after party or something like that, and you can't buy any alcohol or any beer. Here in Green Bay, it is very strict. After 9 o'clock, there are no more sales of alcohol. After 12 or after midnight, there are no more sales of beer. So please plan ahead. Make sure you guys get what you need if you're planning to have a party or something like that before these closing times, because they are not going to extend it. Number 4 is limited amount of food options. I'm a big foodie. I love to eat all kinds of food. Here in Green Bay, there's plenty of American food, and there's more than enough Mexican food, and there's a couple of Indian places which are extremely good, such as India Bhavan. One of my favorite Mexican places is called Taqueria Maldonados, and it's a drive-through taco spot. There's Chinese food, of course, and there's Chinese food everywhere. But other than that, there is really no other food options that you're going to find here in Green Bay. You may find those in bigger cities, such as Milwaukee, but after Milwaukee, such as Sheboygan, Oshkosh, all those cities coming up to Green Bay, your options just start diminishing and diminishing and diminishing. Number 5, means of travel around Green Bay. Kind of like I was touching on before with traffic and how it's going to be a nightmare at number 1. But traveling around Green Bay is not the most friendly when it comes to if you don't have a vehicle. If you don't have a vehicle, it's very difficult to get around because Green Bay, the city, is flat and very spread out. So most of the time you need vehicles. The bus systems here, unless they start to run it differently during the NFL draft time, they usually run very minimally. And I'm talking about maybe 2-3 times a day. If you're waiting at a specific stop, there's maybe 2 or 3 times that bus is going to show up during the day at that stop. That is how very minimal it is. Other than that, you're gonna have to depend on taxis, you're gonna have to depend on Ubers, and there's gonna be a lot of them around here. And you're gonna have to depend on the personal vehicle if you're trying to get around Green Bay to see what's going on here besides the NFL draft. Coming in at number 6 are the Green Bay's local attractions. We got a nice little amusement park here that's pretty local and is very cheap and very family friendly. Usually a lot of people in the Northeast Wisconsin area will come up here to come check it out. Please believe that during the NFL draft, that place is going to be packed. It's going to be packed, so if you plan on visiting one of these places, make sure you get there early. Plan ahead. Get there early because it's going to be long lines. And number 7, please prepare for unexpected weather, especially during April and the springtime, because here in Green Bay it tends to get very volatile once we start transitioning from winter to spring to summer. As a matter of fact, earlier this year, back in April and May, it snowed. It snowed during those months. So one week was all hot. The next week it dropped about 30 degrees and it snowed. And the next week again, it went right back up. So please dress accordingly. Make sure you pack just in case. At least a sweater, at least some sweatpants, because it can unexpectedly get cold on you. If you guys have any questions at all about the draft or anything local, make sure you guys can send me a text message or an email. My contact information is in the description of this video. I'm a local guide as well as a real estate agent here in Green Bay, so I know the lowdown and everything you need to know about Green Bay, how to get around, places to eat, and all that kind of stuff. If you found these tips helpful, make sure you like it, make sure you share it with other people you know, whether they're friends or family who are coming to Green Bay for the NFL draft. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure that you go check out this entire playlist I made right here.